Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unity Circle. I'm Tara Diana. I am the founder of Spirit Essence by Tara Diana and the Spirit Essence Collective. And the Unity Circle is where the collective and I come together and we take a little bit of time. We do this twice a month where we come together for inspirational chit chat. We come together for a little bit of a meditation, some healing prayers sent out to people because we all know we could use a little bit of love and light and healing. And then what makes us different from everyone else is that we come in and we give some spiritual messages. So if you're watching us on Facebook, then come in and send us in the comments that you're here, that you love what you're hearing. Let us know so that we can work with you in whatever regard that we are going to be working with you in, because we don't know you're there if you don't tell us, because we're not on Facebook. We are in a streaming platform. So before we go any further, I want to tell you why tonight's a little bit different. First of all, I'm going to quickly introduce to you the Spirit Essence Collective member, small, medium. I love saying that. I had a conversation about this with someone the other day, but small, medium. She is a whiz at all things that she does. She's one of my bestest friends.
Oh, thank
This
you.
is the beautiful, lovely Paula Gil. Paula
Hi,
Gil.
everybody. Welcome. Looking forward to this conversation tonight. I've been thinking about this all day, so really excited to be here today.
This is a fun conversation too. So Paula and I have um, we have very different ways of working, not only with spirit but just working in general. And Paula has been around my world for many years, and she is a highly intelligent woman. She's just a fabulous. I could talk about her all day and all. She can talk about her subject all day and all night. I could talk about Paula all day and all night.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All truth. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about spirituality and AI. And
A
there's
hot
a
topic these days.
totally hot. You're going to see it, you guys, popping up, whether you are having a metaphysical spiritual practice, whether you are starting your journey into that idea that maybe you'd like to do that, or even if you are just the everyday individual that likes to get messages and whatnot. AI is something that we cannot pass up. It is something, my friends, that we cannot just be like, nah, that's scary, or it's Big Brother, or any of those things. And so Paula is here today to have that conversation with us, to talk about what and how AI works with spirituality. And again, it doesn't matter if you are starting your own spiritual business. This information is hella interesting, and it can change your life, like for real, and in a good way. In a good way. And so, Paula, I'm going to give and we are still going to do messages at the end, baby. So this might not be a 4 hour kind of thing. This might be a little bit shorter than usual, but it's okay because it's like 30 degrees and we're all sweating while we do this. So, Paula, I'm going to give you the floor, baby. Have at her.
Thank you. So, and it's hot. There's no question about that. So I want to start with demystifying some of the feelings around AI. I know that it's something that's controversial. People are feeling sometimes a little bit uncomfortable about it, but I just want us to set that aside for a moment and look at this a little bit more objectively and look at this as a tool. It's a tool like the internet. It's a tool like social media. It's a tool like this tool that we're using now to be able to communicate with everybody. So it affords an opportunity for people to have access to learning and information that might otherwise be difficult to acquire on the internet. Let's face it, when you have a topic that you're interested in and you go on to Google, or you go on to whatever search engine it is that you enjoy working with, you have to work through reams of information. It's blue link after blue link after blue link after blue. And it's really hard to go through all of that and figure out what of that information makes sense and how to bring it all together in a way that you can learn something. So what's really interesting about AI as a tool, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, there's different tools out there. I use a variety of different tools for different reasons. I use ChatGPT. I use the Google tool called Gemini. I use another tool by Anthropic called Claude. And I use them for different reasons. But what I do really enjoy and appreciate from them from a spiritual perspective is the opportunity to learn in a way that's more cohesive, that's brought together for me in a way that I can easily ingest it. So this can look like anything from learning about different spiritual practices, learning about numerology, learning about tarot, practicing tarot. That what's really accessible about these tools is you can go into a little query box, a little box that you type in just using natural language, using your keyboard in your own words, asking questions, asking for information, providing instructions on how to receive that information, and being able to drill down on topics in a way that you can't just with a regular search tool like Google. You can't go into Google, put in a search term, and then refine it as it's giving you information. You end up having to do new searches, and combing through all that information. So, one of the ways that I really enjoy using it is for things like shadow work. When there's a part of you that's triggered, there's a part of you that's, you might be feeling a little energetically drained, and you want to go in and you can actually enter into that query box those different experiences that you're having, those different feelings, what you're believing, and you can ask AI to work with you as a companion and mirror that back to you. Have it come back and look at what you're saying objectively, querying it to say, here's how I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking. Am I looking at this in an objective way? What parts of myself are being potentially triggered here? What can I learn from this difficult experience? And it's a way to engage with an alternate mechanism to bring back and mirror those things and rephrase them in a way that you might not have considered. Sorry, Tara, go ahead.
I need to say something about this. The most interesting thing happened in a reading today I was doing for someone, and it was a last minute reading that they needed some help with something, and we were talking about this because she's going to be going on this spiritual journey, starting a new business, and I mean it's going to be so much fun for her, and it's not all spirit based, but there's some spirit in it. And she was like, I've never thought about using ChatGPT to, she says, I
Oh,
use it
yeah.
as a therapist. And I thought to myself, when all this first started happening, Paula, when you first started out, the first person who ever brought it up to me was actually not you. It was Nan Brady. And she was like, you need to start looking at this. And this was me. No, I don't have time. And that's exactly what I said. I said, I don't want to learn anything new. I'm just trying to get through my everyday life, doing my do. And then you came along, you're like, well, Tara, you need to do this. And here you go, and just do it. And I'm sure Nan is thanking you she's on here right now. So say hi,
Welcome,
Nan.
Nancy.
Um, but I'm sure she's thanking you for everything. But my point being here is that I didn't realize how much we don't process. And I think that's so when you're talking about this right now and you're saying,
Yeah.
shadow work and things like that, how much we don't process because we're either in fight or flight in our thoughts. And so to be able to be like, what am I missing here? Why can I
Yeah.
not wrap my head around this? And to have those that is something
Exactly.
else.
And this is the thing, we get caught up in our own narratives, right? We have our lives, we see the world in a very fixed way. We look outside ourselves, we see, generally the same people around us, the same environment that we're in. We have similar interactions almost every day with the people that we work with, the people where we grocery shop, the dentist we go to. And we get into these routines and these patterns, and we start to look at the world in a very sort of fixed way with a set of beliefs that we get complacent about our thinking, and we don't have we often struggle with having another person mirror that back to us and challenge us to think a different way, challenge us to inspect our beliefs, inspect our values, inspect our attitudes, and be able to reflect them back in a way that we feel safe, where we don't feel like we're being judged. And this is what's interesting about doing this with AI. It's a tool. It's not another person. It's not there to apply judgment. It's not there to measure you. It's not there to assess you. It's just simply being objective and neutral, saying, you said this. You asked me for an opinion on whether or not you're seeing this in an open-minded or what you might be missing. And I think this is what you're missing. Right? It's not you're bad and you're mean or you're narrow-minded. It's not calling you names. It's
Right?
not making you feel bad.
Son of a gun.
And in doing so, you're in this safe, private space for yourself in this chat, and you can sit back and read this information, or if you have audio, you can hear it played back to you, and you can take a moment and go, okay, I'm going to sit with that. I'm going to reflect with that. I'm going to maybe think about this in a different way. And you can do that thought experiment for yourself. And you can begin this process of untangling your personal narrative, right? Breaking it down and understanding what it's composed of, and figuring out, is this serving my life or not? Is the way I think and what I believe and the attitudes I hold and how I engage with myself and other people, is this serving me? Is there something here that I can untangle in a way that can broaden my experiences, that can broaden my interactions, that can bring new energies over to me and bring new energies into my life with different people and different ideas. And this is what's really great about this tool. It's a private opportunity to have this kind of engagement. And I tell you, it's more than that. Just from a, like you mentioned work. I use AI tools in my work on a day-to-day basis throughout the entire day. There's almost nothing I do from a work perspective these days that isn't AI enabled or AI enhanced or AI generated. And those are sort of three different categories, because there's work that I do that I want AI to enhance. Frame this in a better way,
Yes.
improve the grammar, sharpen this up so that it's a bit more understandable. My thoughts feel a little disjointed. Sometimes it's AI generated. It's something that I've done before and I don't want to sit there and do it again. So I just put in an instruction. I need to generate a template for this, that, and the other thing. Just do it for me, because I've done it before. I know what good looks like. I just need somebody, or something in this case, to do the work for me. And that's the AI. AI enabled is also where I may not have expertise in something. It's a new topic, and I need something that's going to enable my learning and speed it up. And that can look like a topic where I need to write a strategy on a particular subject and then a detailed implementation plan. And I might have some ideas around it, but I need some background learning and information and help structuring my thinking to kind of enable me to put something together that I understand, feel is compelling, feel prepared to execute against. So there's all these different layers of uses that you can apply here. And yes, we're getting into the world of AI agents. Some of you may have heard this term, agentic AI. And this is where you take tools like ChatGPT, or tools like Anthropic's Claude, or tools like Google's Gemini, and you create this instruction set where you're asking it to perform certain actions on your behalf, plugging into different applications outside itself, and having it run these flows of work that you can automate. So there's you can go quite deep into this topic, but I'm just going to pull it back and really focus it in on ways that you can easily and tangibly access it for yourself in order to enhance your ability to access different spiritual information, different ways of learning it, and different ways of looking at it.
I love that. I love that, because here we go. I think one of the things that a lot of people in the spiritual community, because we have so many different flavors of spirituality, metaphysical work, and how people come into this space. So there is that deep sense of, well, this is like Big Brother. You're feeding this thing information now. It's going to know everything about you. It's going blah, blah, blah. And they have a very hard time getting past the idea that they aren't in control. They are in control. And when Nancy first came at me with AI, I was never worried about my connection to spirit. That wasn't my problem. I didn't have the time to learn AI. Do you know what I'm saying? If somebody said how easy it was, it might have been different. But I didn't have time to learn the AI. I was never afraid that my connection to spirit would be unauthentic, because I still channel the message. I'm not channeling
100%.
I'm not channeling, and let's make this very clear. I am not channeling loved ones through AI. Right? My mother is not coming through to me through the computer. I am still connecting to spirit. when I channel something like Kuan Yin, an ascended master, she's not a something, an ascended master like Kuan Yin, I am still getting the message. But you know what I'm doing? Is that I'm taking that message and I'm putting it into AI and I'm saying, now make me a journal prompt on Kuan Yin's message. The message is
Yeah.
exactly as I wrote it down. Okay? But give me a journal prompt. And what that's doing for me is allowing me to take my humanness that I have to focus on so hard and continue to apply it to the work I'm good at, which is connecting to spirit. So there is no disconnect for me in terms of I'm still connecting to spirit.
Yeah,
I'm still getting
we
all the
are.
message.
And we can use AI the same way. You know, AI is interesting in that just like sometimes you receive a message through the radio, a song comes on, right? Sometimes you're working with AI in a spiritual capacity, whether it's dream analysis, dream work, you know, learning tarot. It could be a multitude of different ways. And something comes through that tool that speaks powerfully to you. That can very well be a message that you're receiving from spirit through this tool, the same way you might hear a song on the radio that sparks a memory, that sparks a connection to somebody that's crossed over. However, the tool is not channeling spirit. The tool is a mediumistic element like a radio. It is an antenna. It is a throughput. It's a channel. It's simply, I don't mean channel like a human channel. I mean, it's just there to expose the information.
Yeah,
Okay. It's there to
yeah,
just expose the information. And that could be you, but you're the channel. You're bringing that through. It's coming to you. You're pulling that through. It's not it spontaneously reaching out into time and
exactly.
space and grabbing this information saying, you need this message,
It's
right?
not like
It's you working with and through this tool that are accessing that, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, because we do access message from spirit subconsciously. The dream state is an excellent example of this, where we're
yes,
not lucid, but we are connecting and bringing information and messages through. And that tool is just another way to expose that information. And Tara, you said something really interesting a moment ago where you talked about putting a message from Kuan Yin into an AI tool and then asking for a journal prompt. What's really interesting about what you're describing here is you can take a message and put it into AI and ask it to augment the message, to fill in additional information. So as mediums, when we channel spirit, we channel through who we are, through the vehicle that we are. So it's everything that we've aggregated in terms of our learning through life. It's our context. It's what we know and who we know and what we've learned. And spirit speaks to us, and it can only speak through us based on what we know and how we can communicate and the ideas that we can string together. So if you think about it, there's a limitation. There's only so much I and Tara can know about the world. There's only so many experiences that we could possibly have to create that database of experiences so spirit can reference them and be able to use it as a way to articulate and communicate. So what it does is it allows us to take a message and augment it in a way to provide more, think about it as filling something in, right? So what's a good way to describe this? When you're filling up a box and you put in a special present and the box is large and you're going to put that present in there and you can fill it with bubble wrap in order to augment and to make, you know, a little bit of a bigger box to protect it or to be able to create a more enticing surprise experience through this. There's lots of different reasons. This may not be the best example, but I think you guys all
it's a
know
good
where I'm going
example.
here, right? You get this opportunity to be able to articulate elements associated to the message that you may not have the frame of reference to be able to think of. It doesn't change the fact that the message has come through the medium. All
Correct.
it does is that the medium is being enlightened enough to recognize that there may be elements to the message that can be expanded to make it more meaningful for the person receiving it.
Correct. Correct. And honestly, like, to continue the train of thought, one of the ways that I looked at it to be able to see how I was going to work with it was like, if I channel a message from Kuan Yin, Okay, if I bring Kuan Yin in, like she's my master teacher, that's who I work with, and I channel that message and I look at it and I say, okay, I want to make a journal prompt. I have a reading in 10 minutes. Monica, here is my channeled message from Kuan Yin. Monica being my assistant, a real life person assistant. Monica, here's my message from my channel from Kuan Yin. Give me a journal prompt. And then Monica it is no different in reality, Paula,
It is
than
no
me
different.
going, not that I'm getting rid of you, Paula, for little beastie, or not Paula, Monica for little beastie, but it is no different. It is truly no different than you going to your assistant and saying, hey, I got this message from Kuan Yin. Can you give a better description, not of the channeled message itself? We're going to give it the way it is, exactly the way it is, channeled exactly the way it is. But can you now give some filler to it, give some more context to it? Can you do? It's no different than asking your assistant to do something for you.
Yeah, and I do find that here's what I believe. I believe that different things materialize in front of humanity for a purpose. We're all here on a soul's journey, right? And we're all here, and our souls have decided to come at this time, in this context, in this experience, in this era, to have this experience. Just as it presents us science and medicine and physics and all these different experiences and things to learn in the world, it's bringing us AI. And we can either say, okay, clearly my soul came here to choose to experience this epoch of human history and everything there is about it, and I can engage and understand it. And you could go into this and you might decide after trying and using it, going, I want nothing to do with this. That's fair. You can say the same thing about, I want nothing to do with allopathic medicine. I want nothing to do with naturopathic medicine. Everybody has a right to pursue whatever they feel fills them. But we can't deny that these tools are going to be used and are being used and are going to proliferate in our society. So as a user of AI, one of the things that I'm very conscious of is, especially when you're using free versions, what you're inputting into that query box and what AI is generating as a response is used as training data for these AI models. So when you're engaging, you can either feed that AI positive, engaging, learning, growing topics and conversations where you're exploring how to grow and develop and become more open, more thoughtful about yourself, more reflective, whatever it may be. You can be feeding it these constructive pieces, or you can be disengaged and somebody else is going to feed it something else. So we can be part of how these models evolve and what they're trained on and how they're shaped, or we can step away and let somebody else do that and not have a part in it. It's the same as voting. You can choose to vote and be part of the process, or you can choose not to. And if you choose not to, then you are going to be subjected to whoever else is participating in this. And so
Absolutely.
I do believe in the aggregate power of humanity coming together and being able to shape its destiny. And so we can either be part of the forces that shape for a positive destiny, or we can sit back and be victims to it. And I choose to engage. And I encourage everybody to think about engaging as well and being part of that model shaping.
So Cindy put a comment in here, and I don't know, Paula, if you can see the comments.
I don't think I can see. I can see that there are comments, but I don't know if I can see the actual comments. But you can read them out, sure.
So Cindy says, I am a little leery of using AI. I don't know why. It's new, and where does it go when I'm done?
Okay, Cindy, I can see the comments now. So Cindy, I can understand why you feel leery, because it's this canvas that's in front of you on your computer, and you type in these words, and what happens? Well, the same thing happens when you type in. It's actually not that different from what happens when you search for something in Google.
I was going to say that.
So
I was going to say that,
when you search for
girl.
something in Google's driven by AI, right? It's all driven by algorithms, right? at the end of the day. So when you search for something in Google, when you comment on something in Facebook, that's also AI. And it
Yes.
has been for a very long time. So what happens is that information is, and this is particularly true if you're using free accounts, free AI accounts, it's ingested into the training data. So you can imagine this as I'm going to oversimplify it here just for the sake of oversimplifying, but imagine a large bucket of information. And you can visualize that as words and pictures and music, audio, video, text, all this data, all this information in this big bucket. And then there is this pipe that goes in and streams this data or sucks out this data. And imagine, imagine you have a trainer in a gym that is showing you how to do certain routines. It's feeding you this information on how to do these routines, and you're learning. So think about it as a bucket of information that is being ingested into this software process, this architecture, right? These instructions, all these instructions, and then these algorithms that take that information and they learn. Honestly, I can't simplify it more, and to complicate it further, it's not going to help, right? But you can actually go into ChatGPT and ask it for a layman's understanding of what happens when I query something or when I ask a question. Where does that information go, and how is it used to train the AI? And ask it for a layman's description, and it will give you a layman's description. But that information is being used. Now, if you have a paid account like I do, you can toggle on and off whether or not your data can be used to train a model. So there are certain things I toggle off, and there's certain things I toggle on. So at work, for example, I keep it toggled on all the time. I want that model to learn what I'm doing so that it can help optimize future queries or future requests that I make. Now I have a personal account that I keep toggled off for when I just want to do really deep personal introspection for whatever reason. I don't want to share that. And then I have an account that I have it toggled on because I want it to learn what I'm doing with tarot. I want it to learn what I'm doing with dream analysis. I want it to learn what I'm doing with numerology. I want it to think about psychic stuff. I want it to think about spiritual topics.
Yeah.
I want it to think about mediumship. I want that ingested. I want that to be part of the aggregate understanding and learning and knowledge of that model. I want it to be part of that, not outside of that. I hope that answers your questions, Cindy, in probably a super long-winded way.
That's okay. Emily wants to know if you have a favorite AI brand.
I do, for different things. So
I was waiting for that. I almost wrote in, Paula. I
Yeah.
almost wrote in, oh, Lordy, she has many.
I
She has
have I have three that I anchor in for different reasons. I use OpenAI's ChatGPT as a general purpose AI tool for work. And so this can, and also for some of my spiritual work, my dream analysis, my psychic development work that I do. So ChatGPT is kind of my all-purpose go-to. Then I use Claude, which is an AI tool by a company called Anthropic. It's a French company. And so I use Claude when I want to do deep research and analysis, especially at work, when I'm in spreadsheets or when I'm querying different tools. There's a tool that we use at work called Jira. It's a project management, work management tool, and it's connected to Claude, and it'll query information and run analysis for me. And it'll also do visualizations. I can ask it to, I vibe code where I want it to create some kind of application, and I'll vibe code and give it a bunch of instructions for it to create something in HTML, whether it's a website or something of that nature. Claude, a lot of people like Claude for creative writing work. I don't do a lot of creative writing work, but I've heard people say they really enjoy Claude for that purpose. Then I use Gemini when I want to do visualizations like images or short videos, or when I actually want to do mediumship. So this is going to sound a little, this might throw a few people off, but when I'm channeling spirit and I receive a message, I actually like to put the message into Gemini because I find that I appreciate Gemini's augmentation of the message a bit more than ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't do a bad job, it's pretty good, but there's something about the refinement, about there's an elegance to the way Gemini does it. And Gemini, I often ask it to match it to an image that reflects the message that I can go into and use that image as a scry to go deeper into the message. And for some reason, I just really like how Gemini does this. And Gemini is a tool by Google. And I
Paula,
do have subscriptions to all of them.
oh my God, and you are psychic, because I was literally just going to say, do you have, I know
I
you have
do.
Claude, I know you have ChatGPT, but you do have a subscription to Gemini as well.
I do. I have a Google G Suite subscription, and I have I think it's a business level or pro level, which gives me not only gives me my email, right, my email and my Google Drive, but it also gives me access to Gemini, and it allows me as a psychic when I'm doing readings that I can record those sessions for the client and transcribe them. It has an AI generated transcription, so everything that's discussed in the reading, I can obviously with my client's permission, I ask them, do you want this transcribed? Do you want this recorded? If they say yes, I turn on recording and or transcription. And then after the reading, I share that out to them and I give them, a couple of weeks to be able to grab that information. But I do eventually withdraw the access because all of that is getting saved into my Google Drive, and that starts to consume
Yeah.
a lot of space, right? But with that subscription, I use Gemini for that. And I find that Gemini is quite fantastic at this transcription process. It's really captures the entire transcription, everything that is said, and then produces a summary page.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
Zoom will actually do that for you as well now.
Zoom will do that. Zoom will do that for you as well. And then often, like what I do, if I have a client that wants to go a little bit deeper with the messaging, I grab the entire transcription and I take it over to ChatGPT. I drop the transcription in and I ask ChatGPT to provide additional insights that I may have missed in the messages I was channeling in order to provide deeper insights for the client. And the client can do that themselves. The client can actually do that themselves.
Which is very cool, though, because that brings, again, to the forefront that we are just the channel. We just give exactly what they give to us. We are not meant to interpret it. So Paula and I are not meant to interpret the messages. We really aren't. As a channel, you are the medium. From spirit, channel, receiver. So I will say sometimes, can I give you like a little bit of something extra that I'm getting with it? And then I will round it out. But that is an excellent way to do it, to say, here's more. Here is more. Paula, let's do this. It's 7:33. Let's ask if anyone on here has any questions about AI, anything that Paula and I can answer, because Paula and I are going to be working together starting September 15th. We are doing a 6-month, and don't panic anyone, it's not, holier than thou, but it's 6-month membership. It's $50 a month. You commit to the 6 months, and we are going to be combining my spiritual development over the years, the work that I've brought to the table, the good, the bad, and the ugly, to how to build a spiritual business. And believe me, I've got 18 plus years professionally, full-time doing this work, and what's worked and what hasn't worked and whatnot. And Paula is going to do more of the AI, building
and
your
different tools. Yeah.
And different tools. And this is very, very cool, because most of it's going to be dropped into a course in your library on the Kajabi website. And there you will get, every Monday, you will get something from either Paula or I, with opportunities to join Paula and I's circle. When we're going to have a live circle, there's going to be guest speakers, premium workshops that will cost a little bit extra, but are very focused on specific things that Paula and I are both going to run. It is a very well planned, thought out, and engaging. It will teach you how to, even if you are not
Mhm.
super into building a business, it will teach you how to use AI, period.
Absolutely. I mean, what you'll learn can be easily transcribed to your workplace,
For sure. So this is very,
right?
very exciting. I see Cecilia says we are to channel and to share what you are receiving, not transcribe, if that makes sense. You know, I'm going to say something. And I did a big post on this, and this is so funny because I crashed out on this post on Facebook. I lost my ever loving crap because I had gotten 4 messages in a matter of 48 hours from people saying, oh, so and so's posting this about mediumship, and so so's posting this, and now I'm scared, and I don't think I really am connecting, and all this. So I crashed out and I just said, we all do it differently. The core foundation of mediumship is to be the conduit, period. Whether you're an energy healer, whether you are a divining rod, I don't know why I keep going to that. Apparently, I need to get some divining rods. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have to be able to connect to spirit because that's how the information comes through. Okay? Period. Hard stop. But we all do it differently. And there is really no right or wrong to how you
All
do
right.
it.
Do you want to, I know we're taking messages now. If people are curious, one of the things we can do is have a message come through, channel a message, and we can pull up Gemini, transcribe the message into Gemini, ask it to augment the message with additional information, and generate an image to that the person who's receiving the message can have as a takeaway to reflect on and to see how that image speaks to them.
Let's do it. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Okay. So let me pull up Gemini
You
in
pull it up
another
because I
tab.
cannot I cannot function in four
I
different places at
I
once.
it's okay. I can. I've got Gemini.
I
I'm
can
just going to
promise
open
you
up.
that Monica is like shaking in her boots. Don't let Tara get out of the screen.
Don't
Tara,
worry,
don't let
Monica. I'm a pro. I do screen shares all day long. All right. So Tara, why don't you channel slowly, and I'll transcribe, and I'm gonna share my screen. And I'm going
Okay.
to share a window here. Okay, so this is everybody, meet Gemini.
Oh my God! How are you doing this in here?
I'm just sharing a screen, so I'm hoping everybody can see this. So if you're
I
on
can see
video,
it.
you should be able to see this. If somebody can just, give us a quick little message and let us know that you can see my screen that says hello, Gemini for Paula Gil. So I'm just gonna, yep, okay. I think people are seeing this. All right, Tara. So you go ahead and channel. Give me a simple message for
Okay,
somebody,
so
and
are we
I'll
looking?
transcribe
Am I channeling like a loved one, or am I channeling a?
whatever you want.
Okay, I'm going to bring in a message for Bim, please, from Dave, because I felt him come through the moment that Bim showed up on my screen, and I'm feeling when I'm connecting to Dave, he's really wanting to focus on a previous message. He wants you to feel calm and serene. Bim. He wants you to go back to a place that you haven't been at to within your own self for a very long time, and with all due respect, because of situations around you that have happened, including his crossing. Period. Oh, I just said period because you're typing. Um, and it's not, he's not blaming himself, he's not holding himself responsible for where you are at. He's wanting to guide you out of that space. He doesn't want you to be defined. Thank you, Dave. Doesn't want you to be defined by his crossing. He wants you to have joy. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, Bim. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. So Tara, I've just sort of synthesized the
What?
message because I was trying to type it all out. So I've written down, I'm feeling from Dave that he really wants to focus on a previous message. He wants you to feel calm and serene, a place you haven't been for a long time, as a result of situations around you, including his crossing. He's not blaming or holding himself responsible for where you are, but wants to lead you out of it to joy. Did I
Perfect.
capture that?
That's
Okay,
captured
so
it.
what I'm going to do is I'm asking AI, take this message and augment it with any additional insights that may be valuable to BIM, and generate a healing image that she can and reflect on alongside this message. So this is essentially how it works, right? And I don't do this in every reading. There might be a reading where this comes up, where it pops into me, spirit comes to me and says, augment this. And I always ask the client, would you like this augmented?
Are you going to
And
hit send?
if they send yes, okay, so then here we go. So there's the message, and we're going to let AI take this message, augment something that we may not have captured in the message to fill it in or provide a different perspective and generate an image around it.
Ooh, that's a nice image.
Okay, then I'm going to say augment the message with additional insights.
Oh, I actually love that. Let Dave's message wash over you and find the joy. Are you there, Bim? Are you seeing this, baby?
And then here's the augmentation so here's the image that it's provided.
I need to say something.
And then here's the augmented message. So Bim, Dave's message is a gentle reminder that even in the midst of sorrow, there is an invitation to find peace. The calm and serene place he speaks of is not just a destination, but a state of mind that is still accessible to you. It is a place where healing can begin. His desire for your joy is a testament to the enduring nature of his love for you. He sees your grief and wants to help you move through it, not to forget him, but to carry his love as a source of strength and light. This is an invitation to release the weight of the past and step towards a future where joy and peace can coexist with your cherished memories. So Bim, if you want, fire off a note to Tara, get me an email address, and I can literally put this in a canvas. Please put this message and image in a canvas, and I can share out a Google document so that you can have access to this for yourself.
I am unable to do that.
So this is now in a Google Doc in my Drive.
Hey.
Right? So it's in my Drive. I'll have to find I think it's going to send me an email, but anyway.
Okay, go up. Stop. I am unable to place the message and image on a canvas, it says.
Oh, I need to move it to Google. I'll put it in a Google Doc. That's right, Gemini.
You're going back and forth. I'm like, stop! It's saying it can't.
Oh, okay. I can create the Google Doc. There we go. So I'll just go in here, create a Google document, make it easy, and then I can grab the image. And hold on, I'm going to put this in here, and then Bim, if you get a hold of Tara, I can share this with you. Okay, you get the idea. I'm going to process this. There's the image. Can you go back
up, baby?
Yep, hold on. Let me just drop this in.
When you're ready.
Let me drop this in here. There we go. Now there's a document for Bim if she wants it.
And she'll want it.
There you go.
Go back up just a little bit, please.
Further up?
Yes. Further up still. Okay, stop. I want to point out something to you guys. This filled my heart with joy. Right here it said, I'm pointing, but anyway.
Oops.
Oh, where'd you go? Girlfriend,
sorry, I was just making it bigger. I was making it bigger.
While I can't provide additional channeled messages or spiritual insights, I can augment the message from Dave with some supportive text to encourage reflection and healing. Can we just stop here for a moment and pause? While I can't provide additional channeled messages or spiritual insights, this AI acknowledges they cannot do what Paula and I can do, or any of you in there. They are acknowledging this. And Paula and I want to teach you guys how to be able to use this without having any kind of fear that somehow it's them doing the messages. Because I want to remind you of this. You're bringing the information to the AI. You're not typing into AI, give me a message from Kuan Yin, please. You're not doing that. You are bringing the message into AI. And AI takes it and augments, whatever the word is she keeps saying.
Augments.
Thank you.
Jim, I think go to your WhatsApp, and I'm going to drop the link into your WhatsApp right now. And
So there you go.
you can access the document right now if you like.
So let's do one more, Paula.
Sure.
Let's do one more. Um,
No, I don't want to do videos now.
no, let's
Okay.
do an inspirational message. I'd like to go to Cindy, please, and just tap into spirit as a whole. Let's try an inspirational message, which is slightly different. When I'm connecting to spirit, Cindy, are you ready, Paula?
Yep, just give me a second. All right, go ahead. Don't
When
talk
I
too fast.
oh, God knows who this is, who you're talking to. I'm connecting to the idea of being pushed forward. And the words that come to me are, Cindy, it is time for positive movement forward. I'm feeling a vast change and direction for you, and that you are going to recognize this and want to lean into this because it is going to provide you with the compassion, but also the teachings that you need to bring yourself, I'm going to say, this is going to sound funny, up to date, up to date with where you should be in this lifetime. And I'm going to leave it like that.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to ask for the same thing. I'm going to ask it first to
Love you, baby.
augment this message for Cindy with additional insights that can help her action. So now we're asking AI to give us stuff, give us insights that you can action. Make them actionable. Okay, so just another way to do this. And let's see here. All right, I won't read this all out, but Tara, you can have a look and see what you want to pull out here. But I asked it to, augment the message, but also give Cindy some tactical steps she can take. And you don't
Okay.
have to take them, but there's steps you can consider taking to action the message.
Well, again, it's always what resonates and leave the rest behind. I love
Yes,
this.
absolutely.
Reflect and realign. Carve out some quiet time to reflect. Here's the thing, a lot of the stuff that we get from spirit is repetitive. You're going to hear it from one person to the next because we don't do the work. We never truly do the work. So spirit is repetitive AF. They just keep saying it until we do it. So I love this. Reflect and realign. Why is my life no longer serving? What in my life? Not why is my life. What in my life is no longer serving me? Take a small aligned step. Here's a reminder, it doesn't have to be big, powerful movements. It can be the little steps that count the most because they will progress and become bigger. Now, look what it says here. Find your mentors and teachers. This is super interesting to me, Paula Gil, because Spirit has been putting this out there over and over. And I am not the person who goes out there. And this is again where I crashed out today in that, and it wouldn't let me post it. It crashed my Facebook. It wouldn't let me post it. And I said, you know what? Everyone does it differently. You got to find the person who aligns to you. But if you want to do the work and you can't do the work, find a teacher, find a mentor. So this all is beautiful, beautiful information for you. And anyone who's reading this, you take this too, because it is for not just Cindy, it is for whoever it resonates with. And Paula and I have come to the conclusion that this is the probably one of the most powerful way forward right now without purchasing massive amounts of recordings and having to read through and sit in classes for hours and hours. It's structured. It's by truly professionals. I mean, Paula's been doing work in not only in AI but building people's teams and businesses for, I don't know, 20 plus years.
Keep going. We're getting close to 30.
Yeah, well, but she's so young. She was doing it when she was
I know.
5.
I was a kid when I started in tech.
5.
I've been working in this AI space now for probably a good since 2012. I started in quantum computing in 2012,
Yes.
and then straight to AI after that.
And look at the beautiful picture. Now there is a path. There's the light at the end of the tunnel that is not the one we're thinking of, but there is the path you want to go down to. Beautiful imagery.
Okay, I'm going to unshare now.
Yes.
And there we go. There. Okay, so now everybody has an opportunity to get an idea of there's a lot of things we've learned here. One is how you can take your own inspirational thoughts, record them, what you're channeling as your own inspirational thoughts, and use AI to augment them, to provide additional insights, to visualize them for you. How a psychic and a medium work with a tool like this, where their client wants or requests that augmentation, and where as a business person you have this tool that can provide additional insight and enable learning and enable activities and speed, quite frankly, speed work up. Like I don't know, my output, like I think AI does probably more than 50% of my job now, if not more. I can focus on what I'm really great at, which is leading teams and moving people through different stages of projects and programs, and creating structures for organizations to scale and build and use tools like AI in order to enable them forward, rather than spending my time behind a screen writing documents and documents
Yes.
and documents and documents and documents and more documents, right?
I concur.
And those documents are necessary because they're how we as human beings exchange information and ideas, and how we articulate things in order for us to align. So that information is still necessary, but I can speed that process up now.
I love this. And that was the biggest thing for me, is that it let me be who I needed to be. And who I need to be is literally Tara, the, channeler, Tara, the conduit for spirit, because that's what I'm good
The
at.
spiritual worker, the spiritual guide.
But sitting in front of my computer trying to come up with these programs, I can channel the program, but then doing all that extra work that is so humanist is just where I lose it. And I will spend hours trying to create documents, and then I miss this, then I miss that. So much beautiful things. I'm going to say this to everyone. If you are interested in wanting to learn more about what Paula and I are going to do, drop me a DM, a direct message, send me an email if you don't know how to reach me, whatever you want to do. But let me know. We are going to be opening this up and going live on the website for registration, which is, I think it's going to be a game changer. It's why Paula and I did it. We're both busy people, and we decided this is it.
Yeah,
so
there's no reason why
thanks, Nan.
The spiritual community. There's no reason why the spiritual community needs to be left behind on this.
No, Nan, I read that to say ghoulish souls at first. It says glorious souls. I read, ghoulish. Well, that's okay.
Love you too, Nance.
Okay, I think we're going to call it a night. I'm sweating. Okay. I think this was actually as profound as I thought it was going to be. Paula Gil, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you
for having me. Thank you, everybody, for engaging, and thank you for everybody. Just, let's be open-minded and let's contribute to the future that we want to see.
And you know what? We'll see you in the membership. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. Not only will it be learning and growth and whatnot, it'll be fun because it's Paula and I.
I'll limit the dirty jokes.
Oh. Okay, we love you all. And
all right.
Thanks for joining us. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.